Hey Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength here, go check your other major placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and I think any placement that fascinates you and interests you. We're going to start off with the Moonology Work Your Light Magic deck, a little booklet it gave me, a little pamphlet here. And then we're going to move on to the Santa Muerte deck for a more traditional tarot spread. Oh my gosh, you have 3 new moons. A big beginning, a big new beginning, Sagittarius. Oh my gosh, this is like, I've never seen anything look so much like a new relationship. Okay, you have new moon in Aquarius, air sign, communication, thinking, but it's the Aquarius is the water bringer, bringing love into the situation, bringing emotion into a situation, into your communications. It's sort of, this one is time critical, non-conventional way of communicating. So bringing love into the situation, bringing emotional communication where maybe typically you're more intellectual or aloof or it's more clinical, bringing some emotion into that situation. You also have a new moon in Libra, another air sign. A new romantic cycle begins, or a new relationship of any kind, a new mutually beneficial relationship, teaming up with somebody, creating a team, compromise, a relationship where there's a lot of balance. So you're bringing emotion into a relationship, and there's like a new connection here, or a new team member here, or something like that. And you need to relate to them, not aloof, not standoffish. Even if it's business, you're going to need to bring some emotion into that, right? Business is just people too, right? So you're needing to bring some emotional connection into a new connection, a new team, a new relationship, a new team member. So both of these, though, bring love into this situation, and a new romantic cycle begins. Just on the face of them are a new relationship. But in case not all of us are starting new relationships, this one in particular, I can see as a new team member or a new mutually beneficial team situation. And then we have another new moon in Virgo, time to give rather than take. So this isn't that you've been taking, but this is about thinking about the part you play, the role you play, any kind of even leadership role that you can take in relationships. You may need to take the lead with a relationship. You may need to, and then you're bringing emotion into the situation. So you need to think about what you're bringing. What are you bringing into this new relationship? What do you have to offer? What do you have to bring? And maybe it's like, what emotion are you approaching this new relationship with, or this new team with? What feelings are you bringing into it? But thinking about what you bring, how you can approach a new relationship or a new situation. What's your part? What role do you play here? I love mutable moon always. It's a very liminal stage. Things are shifting. Nothing is yet set in stone. We have a lot of unsettled energy here, and it's unsettled emotions, unsettled emotional energy. So there's a really strong emotional connection with some sort of person or team or kindred spirit, but nothing's set in stone yet. So that's why you're bringing love, and you're thinking about what you want to bring into it, because it hasn't been decided yet what the dynamic of this relationship is going to be. So you need to be thinking about, what do you want this relationship to be? And then expressing that and actually bringing how you feel about the relationship or the team or the new team member or the new partnership. How do you feel about that? So you get to think about how you want to approach somebody, how you want to relate to somebody. It's not yet set. You don't yet have that. So it's almost like that best foot forward, or starting off on the right foot, something like that, where you're really thinking about how to establish rapport with somebody, how to establish a relationship with somebody, because it hasn't been established yet. It's not set in stone. You don't have, because it's much harder to change those things after they're established, just change relationships after they're established, to come in and say, hey, I know we've been friends for 10 years, but do you think you could listen a little more? I mean, that creates so many issues, so many problems. The person feels like, oh my God, I've been a shitty listener for 10 years. Or they may be like, no, what the hell is wrong with you all of a sudden? When you change the rules of a relationship, when it's well underway, it's very different. So this is asking you to think about some sort of new relationship in your life, and how do you want to establish that? Do you want to establish it? I think a lot about a lot of my old friendships were established on how similar are we? And now I really love to dig around with how different we are, because I almost feel like it's a given now that we're all similar baseline humans. Okay, that's fine. We have a lot of similarities already. So let's explore some of our differences. So this allows me then to contradict people, which I sometimes have a difficult time doing. It allows the dynamic between the friendship to be different and healthier for me and better for me. But I have to start the friendship like that. It's much harder to go back and be like, hey, I'd like to disagree with you a lot more on things. And it's not combative. It's just, I'd like to be able to say, oh, I don't see it that way. And then have it be cool, right? And have that be part of the dynamic. So you get to set up a dynamic here with a new relationship. And this is saying it's not yet set. So this is brilliant. This is a brilliant time for you to be thinking about this. There's also the Tao Te Ching talks about, that which is rooted and that which is new is easy to uproot. So it's much easier to change a dynamic early on. So especially if you've already started a new relationship or a new friendship or partnership, if it's already underway, you need to be rest assured that the dynamic isn't set. You still have a lot of room here to change any kind of relationship dynamic that has already started and gone underway. And make sure it's something of reciprocation, that you're both treating each other as full humans with the full set of emotions, and really thinking about what you're bringing to it and how you want to set it. That was a really interesting grouping of cards. And then we have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So this could be, like I was saying, a friendship dynamic, a relationship dynamic that is unhealthy for you. And maybe you've already started off on an unhealthy foot, and it's time for you to sort of retract and go back the healthy way. It's not too late to turn around and change the dynamic. So calling back your power, cutting cords, soul retrieval, blocking some sort of control pattern or some sort of pattern you might get into that isn't healthy for you and leaves you feeling entrapped and stuck. So if you tend to have relationships that always go the same way and this is an opportunity for you to just make sure that this new thing is a different dynamic. So cutting the cords, soul retrieval, making sure you're being exactly who you are and not setting up the relationship dynamic as if you are somebody you're not, as if you really do agree with them on everything, setting up the dynamic where you get to disagree with them, or you get to be different from the people in your life. You don't all have to be the same. So don't dim to fit in, which is what I love. Don't pretend you're not who you are in this new relationship. Don't dim to fit in. You have to come in with being honest with yourself about how you feel, being honest about reciprocation, being honest about what you're bringing to the relationship, because sometimes we can feel like victims when in fact we're the one that set up the original dynamic of the relationship to put ourselves at a disadvantage. If like I was saying before about I used to want to agree with everybody and find commonality. So I'm the one that set up all my friendships like that, where it's based on me being the same as you and us having stuff in common, so that when I wanted to start disagreeing, just who knows if that person would have ever been open to that. But the way the dynamic had been for several years, it was just like, no, you don't disagree with me. Oh, well, maybe you would have been like that if I'd come in like that. So you breaking some sort of pattern here and being more exactly who you are. And that's what you need to bring into the relationship. Your honest, complete self. Do not dim to fit in. Don't start this relationship off. And it's not too late to change it. Don't start new relationships off based on a premise that you're somebody that you're not, that you're more, what do I want to say? Like, yeah, don't dim to fit in. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Don't pretend to have feelings you don't have. Don't pretend to like things you don't like. Like, just be who you are. Think about what you're bringing into the relationship and be who you are. Break some sort of pattern, people-pleasing pattern, or something where you pretend to be stupider than you are. That way more people will like you and they won't call you a nerd or whatever. You can't find your tribe that way anyway. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to move to the Santa Muerte tarot deck for a more traditional spread here. So Sagittarius, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. That's an interesting card here. So is that one. Holy moly. So is that one. I'm loving your reading, Sagittarius. I always do. I don't know what the deal is. Your readings are just great. Okay, they come in pretty clear for me, uniquely clear. They almost feel like personal readings to me, with the clarity that I get from these, from Sagittarius in particular. Knight of Pentacles in your recent past. This knight's planning, thinking, plotting, organizing. He's got a vision. He sees things. I mean, you'd think the Knight of Wands would be the visionary, but the King of Wands is the visionary, but the Knight of Pentacles, I may be going off into the weeds here for you a bit. The Knight of Pentacles, he's got a lot to offer. He's got a lot to bring, but he likes to think about it. He goes slow. He plans. It's one sure-footed step at a time. He really looks to the future and looks where he's going and likes to plan it out and figure out all the little details and organize things. I mean, he's got the bravery of a knight. So it's a courageous vision that he has. It's a courageous vision that he's seeing, but he does not tend to take a lot of action towards it or move very quickly. It's a slow moving thing, which is funny. It's not yet set in stone. Maybe because it's so slow moving that we haven't even gotten to the part where we're setting anything in stone. We're still at the blueprint stage here as our Knight of Pentacles. It's a bold blueprint. He's got courage, but it's more a courage of vision and the courage of planning. And then in your current situation, you have this Five of Pentacles, one step in front of the other. You're in sort of a boring mode here, or just like an execution of a plan. Like, he saw where you were going and now you're walking there. Like, this could have been somebody from your past, or could have been a vibe that you've been in, planning something, but he saw something in the future, wanted to go there. He's got the money to execute a lot of things, to do what he wants. But right now we're just one foot in front of the other, slowly plodding forward with the original plan, moving forward step by step by step by step. Very plodding energy. This could be actual travel. You could be actually traveling, although it seems a little doubtful, but you could be traveling, could be going for long walks, could be, but it's got a plodding sense to it of just, in a way, maybe even going through the motions. Like, there was this big plan and then you're just executing it now. It's not very exciting. Maybe the planning stage was exciting and now the execution isn't very exciting. One step in front of progress is being made, though. Rest assured, progress is being made. It's just not dramatic. I mean, with this Knight of Pentacles and this Five of Pentacles right here, we're talking about time, money, slow, steady, solid movement. It's a very nice foundation to have. In your inner landscape, we have King of Cups here. This is your hopes, your fears. This is about emotional maturity, being able to handle your feelings, handle your emotions. You could be, what's interesting is the pentacles are so solid, but then here we have this being able to handle your emotions and feelings. I don't know what emotions and feelings you're having in this planning, plotting stage, maybe boredom, or frustration at the slow pace, but you seem to want that slow pace. You seem to have expected that slow pace. But this is your king. This is what you want, what you're hoping for. This could be somebody that you're hoping for and thinking about, or this could be you just having a lot of emotional maturity, a lot of Zen emotional ability to handle your emotional liquor, to drink up whatever's in that cup, whatever's in your emotional cup, to drink it up and have it be nurturing, even emotions that you don't expect and maybe feel a little uncomfortable. They're still bringing you information, bringing you nourishment that your body and your mind can use to figure out things and figure out where you're at. So you might be thinking about some sort of very emotionally mature person, or you might be thinking love could be on your mind, thinking about maybe it's someone from work, where you typically have more analytical conversations, but now you need to have more emotional conversations. But it is about bringing emotions into this more like work, physical plane of mundane reality, and bringing those emotions in and wondering if you can handle these emotions, if you can handle these feelings. But there is a wish for, a hope for emotional maturity, or somebody who is emotionally mature to come in here. Maybe you were in a relationship and it was just moving along forward and you just kind of lost your passion and just were going through the motions. And something's happened because you get the breakup card in the Two of Cups. You get the breakup, you get the soulmates, not soulmating. You get the twin flames, not burning. You get the kindred spirits, not kindreding. You're not sharing. There's a breakup. It's the breakup card. There's been some sort of rift between two people. Man, that's funny because Scorpio just got that too. There's been a rift between some people here, not sharing. Maybe you're just not able to share. Maybe you don't have, this could be not having someone to share something with, or having had someone to share something with, and then to share your heart and your soul and your minds and your dreams with, and then you've broken up. Or it could just be not having that. And you're solo. There's not two of you, there's one of you. It's hard, you're your own soulmate, but yeah, there's something fun about having that in reality, right? Too. So maybe you literally do need to bring love into the situation. And a new romantic cycle begins, could be, restarting afresh with something, not necessarily somebody new, but restarting afresh. But that is going to involve complicated rewriting of the rules, right? Of the relationship. But there's been some sort of rift here, some deep emotional rift. It does kind of look like someone was going through the motions, had some grand plan, was going through the motions, was emotionally immature. That's why you're hoping for emotional maturity, because there's been maybe some emotional immaturity going on. And then there's been a rift, a breakup, some sort of isolation, or some sort of not finding that connection that you were really hoping for. You were hoping for a King of Cups, and you don't even have Two of Cups right now. There's just one cup. And then in your environment, you have the King of Wands. You have somebody here, probably an actual person that you know, who's very excited about something, charismatic, sees the future, people follow them. Oh, then this is so funny. I was talking about the Knight of Wands underneath the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is brave, but cautious and slow moving. Right underneath that Knight of Pentacles, and gender doesn't matter here, right? Is this person in your environment who's go, 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 very excited. This is where impulse meets intuition. This Knight can be very impulsive, very fast moving, very charismatic, a smooth talker, really wants to move things fast. I don't know how these two Knights are even ever going to be on the same team, if they are, because, they'd complement each other, basically. This one would do a lot of planning and a lot of grounded work, and this one would bring the excitement and the inspiration and the puppy dog energy to every meeting. It would be very excited, moving forward, very inspired and excited about something, but charging forward. There is sort of a sense where this could be someone who's very impulsive, and man, they want to move fast. And they're excited, and they're raring to go. This is think before, think. This is the measure twice, cut once person. and this is the measure once, cut twice person, or this is the look before you leap, and this is the leap before you look. And they're a good complement, actually, if they can figure out how to negotiate and be together in the same space. They'd actually be a pretty nice, because this one would move the other forward, and the other would force the other to think about what happens afterwards. Like, I love those YouTube videos where things go terribly wrong, but it's like physics. It's like, yeah, well, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So yeah, that board was going to come back and hit you in the face. Like, but you just don't think about it. And then you see it and you're like, of course that was going to happen. Obviously that board that energy had to go somewhere. So this person's going to think about that, like where that board's going to end up after you smash it with your leg. And this one's just going to do the smashing. So together they have a pretty good time and not many people get hurt. But they are going to need some negotiation and some, both of them are going to have to be happy with who they are. And neither one of them should be dimming to fit in and trying to fit the other person's expectations. I don't know where I'm going with that, but neither one of this one should be happy to be somewhat impulsive. They bring the joy, the excitement, and you, or whoever this one should be happy to bring some sort of stability and the details of survival into the situation. And it's a cute pair. I like them. And then we have the Tower. This is your to-do list. Someone else got this to-do list, like, what was it? Was it a Leo? This to-do list is wild. This is like shake shit up. Turn this situation upside down. Like, dump the bookshelf over. Don't wait for the earthquake. Be the earthquake. Maybe that's this bringing love into the situation, a time to give rather than take. It's time for you to give an earthquake, a wake-up call maybe about who you really are, what you really think, how you really feel, some sort of wake-up call here, some sort of, it's got a lot of energy in it. It's got a lot, you're bringing a lot of energy into a situation and turning it around. This is very unsettled energy, the Tower. And so same with this, nothing is yet set in stone, this Tower moment, but you are the Tower moment. You bring in some sort of unsettled energy, some sort of emotion, some sort of truth. I feel like the Tower is often about deposing somebody that's been up there and maybe even not supposed to have been ruling from the Tower. So there's some sort of deposing here, or maybe even deposing yourself, revealing who you really are, revealing, throwing yourself off a pedestal, like, hey, I'm not all that, or hey, I have these feelings and they're actually very real, and it's going to really shake someone's life up. And maybe it's just cutting cords, maybe it's just don't dim to fit in. Both of those can really shake things up. So you're bringing in a Tower moment, some sort of crucial moment. You might not be ready for that this week, but you'll see the opportunity and you'll be ready to take it. You'll know, like, this is where I shake shit up. This is where I take a big risk, this big risk, bringing in a Tower moment, a moment of truth, really, that changes the dynamics of everybody's lives. And then where you're going, a possible outcome is Two of Swords. This is this. That's why I loved seeing this. I was chuckling because this is usually how the Two of Swords is depicted. Somebody that's doing this, blocking some sort of situation. This could be denial, denying somebody access to you, how you really feel. It could be like, it seems like a romantic cycle, but it could also be just like blocking a return to the old cycle. Refusing to go back to who you are. We're refusing to continue to dull yourself so that you can continue to make a relationship work in exactly the same way it's worked before. This is a straight up refusal to work. Maybe you're going on strike. This is like a refusal to work with someone, cutting the cords, soul retrieval, calling back your power, blocking somebody's attempt to take advantage of you or manipulate you or something, or put you back in this box, dim your light, block that. Somebody that has some sort of control over you. What's funny is this says cut the cords and the scissor's broken and can't cut. But the thing is, the scissors doesn't want to cut, right? The scissors, you could fix the scissors, turn it around, make it cut, put it back to work, make it do what it was supposed to do, what it promised on the box it came in that it would do. You could do that, but this is saying don't go back into the box that you were in. Don't go back to being a tool here. The way you cut this cord is by refusing to cooperate with how it's been, with the patterns that's already been established. Don't go back. You're being stubborn. You're bringing in a tower moment, some truths that are really going to shake some people up, and don't go back. Don't go back on it. Don't pretend you didn't say that. Don't go back to the old patterns, to the way you used to be. All right. Okay, Sagittarius, that was a long reading. I hope that you liked it. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I know you're going to have a really wonderful week. Best of luck dealing with this. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments.